Well, good morning, everyone. Let's make sure that if I can find it here in the dark. Yeah, there we are. Okay. Welcome, everyone. I'm Jan Erickson. Welcome to Somewhat Daily Tarot and Rune. And it is the 11th of September, 2018. So we have an 11, 11, and a 9. I don't think I want to, reduce the 11th for today at all to a 2. But if I did, 2 and 9 is what? 11. So we've got 11s throughout this day today, don't we? And of course, I don't know if publishers are all about numerology like I am, but it sure is fascinating that Bob Woodward's book dropped on 11, on this a day filled with 11s, filled with illumination. I mean, not that we really don't have all these facts anyway, but, this way, it's all in one spot. And he does such a great job researching. He gets it right. He takes the time. And already, between that book and Unger's book, I think we're getting a real clear picture. And even if you want to take into account the stuff that people who've worked for him have put out, Wolf's book, Fire and Fury, that also told the story. The op-ed that was released, which is, it might have been by one person, but you got to think that it was probably by a group of them that are just saying, hey, but here's the thing, we didn't elect them. Well, I didn't elect this guy, but the country elected this guy. And if he's that big of a problem, if he seriously is not who people thought he was, which clearly he isn't, then do something. But take the paper off his desk, but think about it. You're enabling someone who doesn't apparently have the mental capacity to lead? And you think this is the solution? No. This has gone from basically what they've all done is, if all of this is true, which I have no reason to believe that it isn't, what they've done by virtue of making this choice, they've basically usurped the presidency. They're all involved. All of them. So I don't know how we as a country, we as voters, we as citizens can sit idly by while someone is supposedly our president that, according to everything we've read, all of these interviews, everything these people are saying, the guy's crazy. And we're okay with this? Let's count 13 and see what we have for today. I'm only, maybe 20 pages in, and I'm just sitting there going, oh my God. I knew it was bad, but didn't know it was that bad. Well, we have the King of Wands, so we know who we're talking about today. Although I guess he's a Gemini, which makes him an air sign. But we have the king sitting on his throne, not looking into the future, mind you, but looking off to the past and all of his assets and all of his gold. The king is fiery, he's authoritative. And when he's not ill-dignified, then he can be a really good ruler. He can be passionate, he can get things done. But if he doesn't even remember a piece of paper he wants to sign, if the only thing they have to do is take it off his desk and he doesn't notice. So it's a court card. We're going to pull another card just to see, because court cards are crazy. Well, the Four of Pentacles. Now, the Four of Pentacles can be looked at in a variety of ways. we can think of this guy as miserly because, you know, there he is. He's sitting on his chair. He's a king. He's got a pentacle on top of his head. He's holding tightly to his wealth. He's got his feet on his assets. There's the kingdom behind him. So you can look at this as miserliness. You can look at this as hanging on to possessions. Or maybe 4 can be a time of rest and reevaluation. Maybe we need to take some time and read this book today. Download, yeah, get it from Kindle. It's cheaper, you know, download it, read it, borrow it from a friend, listen to excerpts, read excerpts, anything. Take some time and figure out if this is the foundation you want to have. That's what we're going to think about today. Did you really want this idiot? Did you really want what's happening? Because if you don't think that the red flags are flying, they are. Or maybe the flag should be flown upside down. Isn't that what we do when we're in a moment of crisis? And it's all gone to hell in a handbasket? We need to sit and think. Now, maybe we can't do anything as citizens until November when we vote. But our vote better do something to right this ship before it's too late. I've never interpreted the 4 of Pentacles that way, where we need to sit and think about what we have and what we're about to lose. Because if the reports of being related to the Russian mob are correct, this has been in the works for a long, long time, folks, since the 80s. What we're seeing now, if you guys don't understand we've been invaded by a foreign country, well, you're not paying attention. And the guy in the Oval Office is part of it. Got to be. You can't have a group of people fund your building projects that you then put your name on and not be beholden to them. Make sense? It's simple cause and effect. Someone like that does not come away from this unscathed. They just don't. And now we're going to have to sit and think about this. Now, Fehu, the sending rune, the first rune of the Elder Futhark. Witches use this, if they use rune magic, to send the intention. It can be placed at the end of a rune script. It can be placed into a bind rune to send the intention. Well, the intention we need to send is that we aren't going to tolerate this. Our country matters more than one person in that Oval Office and all the people he brought with him, many of whom aren't even there now. They're talking to Bob Woodward, or they're writing their own book. Sometimes we make really big mistakes. And at that point, it matters what we do about it. So we need to think. We need to gather information. We need to understand what's going on, and we need to think. We need to think about all we stand to lose. Because if you're one of those people that was lucky to get a little bit of pittance in your paycheck every week, a lot of people didn't. The companies did, made the owners and you know, the major shareholders rich, you know, with the tax cuts. But for the most of us, it didn't hit us. And then if your healthcare is affected and, you know, all that, right? It all goes downhill from there, doesn't it? We had a chance to build on something, not tear it down. We think of the so-called evil word socialism. Well, then if you feel like that, then don't drive on the roads, don't go to the public library, don't send your children to public school, don't go to a flu shot clinic, don't go to, uh, you know, for God's sakes, don't take your Social Security or Social Security disability if something happens before. Don't take Medicaid, don't take Medicare. By God, don't do any of that. Because if you're doing any of those things, then guess what? You're participating in this evil thing called socialism. But it isn't. What it is a nation of people coming together and saying, you know what? We want our country to look this way. We want clean water. We want clean air. We want to be able to go to work and know that our boss isn't screwing us blind. Women want to go to work and they don't want to be sexually harassed. We want to have a safe place for our kids to go to school. If we choose to send them there, my kids homeschooled ultimately, but trust me, I want good schools. Okay, I want good schools for kids. I want clean water. I want Flint, Michigan to not have lead in their water. You know, I was thinking about this whole thing. Oh, let's get rid of all the regulations. You know why we have them? Okay, here's why we have them. We have them because we have people who think that money and the almighty dollar is more important than safety. And so they don't care if they pollute the air. They don't care about this and that. You know, just watch the Aaron Brockovich movie. It talks about something that actually happened in California. All right. You could argue maybe we're overregulated, maybe we are, maybe we're not, but these things wouldn't be there if there weren't a problem, if people weren't getting harmed. So regulations come because people can't be adult enough not to harm people. All right? That's what this is. So they go and vote for a guy that tells them everything they want to hear. Turns out, according to all these books, he doesn't have a business sense. He never has, apparently. And apparently he doesn't have the ability, so Russian mobsters had to come in and fund everything for him. And y'all thought that was a good idea to put this guy in office? Are you kidding me? I don't know, man. I don't know where we're going to go from all of this. But I've been saying this, something is so wrong. And I think if we all sit down and we read this book, I think we're going to figure out what that is. Now, you can sit there and say that all mainstream journalism they're all, part of the so-called deep state. Well, I don't know. I don't care. I just want the nightmare to stop. I want to be able to go to work, go to bed at night and wake up in the morning and have some semblance of trust that the world's not going to implode overnight because of some stupid ass tweet this guy's done. So, well, there went my Rune bag on the floor. Rant's over. We need to think, all right? We need to think. If this guy is exactly what is being portrayed in the book, all of the books, all of the interviews, all of the whistleblowers, if you want to call them that, if even 10% of it's true, someone said, who was that? Was that Anderson Cooper or Chris Cuomo? I don't know who it was. Someone said, even if 10% of it's true, we're screwed, folks. We are. Wake up if you haven't. This is the year of illumination. Today, 11/11, all right? Illumination. Wake the hell up. Pay attention to what's going on and see it for the danger that it is. Look, this country is not perfect. But to suggest that, somehow we need to be made great again by someone who needs Russian oligarchs to fund his building projects? Really? I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, food for thought. Sorry for the rant. Well, sorry, not sorry, because I've been reading the damn book. And I'm not in a good mood. I probably shouldn't have done this, but good Lord, I drew the Four of Pentacles, all right? And the King of Wands. I don't know. I think it's significant. So let's read, let's listen, let's pay attention, let's figure this out. And then let's act, please. You know, we only have this one country, this one life here, at least in this time. Wouldn't it be nice to leave something for our kids, our grandchildren that isn't this? Anyway, we'll see you tomorrow. Take care of yourselves. Read. Pay attention. Blessed be.